After an uncharacteristically brisk start to the 2026 housing market, market activity has calmed down a bit, and I'm seeing opportunity for those buyers and sellers who are ready to work together. What's it all mean to you? I'll break it down for you in my March market update. Hi friends, I'm Realtor Scott Tompkins, your 360 agent. I live right here in beautiful Olympia, Washington, and here are my key takeaways about the real estate market in Thurston County for March 2026. The number of new listings was up about 24% from 2025. Our active inventory is high for this time of the year and up about 40% over this time last year. Pending sales are up about a third from last February, and closed sales increased by about 10%. The typical home that sold here in February was built in 1993, had just over 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, and featured just over 1,900 finished square feet. 62% had air conditioning, and 56% were located in an HOA. Last month, we saw 3.3 months of inventory, which was the highest it had been in years. In February, we came back down to 2.5 months of supply, which is more in line with what we've experienced in the last couple of years. This means that it would take 2.5 months to sell all the available homes. As always, some areas are hotter than others. This month, these 3 areas had really low months of supply, putting them in seller's market territory. South Olympia, hey, that's where I live, had 1.45 months of supply. Boston Harbor had 1.43 months, and Black Hills had 1.1 months. On the other end of the spectrum, these 2 areas had much higher months of supply, technically putting them in a balanced market just shy of buyer's market territory. Thurston Southeast had 4.75 months, and East Olympia was at 4.67 months of supply. Sellers in February accepted an offer in just under 8 weeks, 9 days faster than what we saw in January, and about a week slower than a year ago. This month, about 51% of buyers used conventional financing, 11% used FHA financing, 12% paid cash, and 24% used VA loans. If you're eligible for VA financing, don't be afraid to use it here in Thurston County. Sellers definitely welcome you and your offer. Homes this month sold for about 0.5% below the listing price, up 0.5 percentage point from last month and about the same as last year. After being flat right at $535,000 for the last 4 months, our median sales price fell by $4,000. Still, this February median price of $531,000 represents an annual increase of 2.1% or $11,000. Remember that median is the middle price, where half the homes sold for less and half sold for more. Our average sales price of just over $584,000 showed a year-over-year increase of about $18,000 or 3.2% from last year. About 59% of sellers offered some type of seller concessions, such as assistance with buyers' closing costs. This was as high as 70% last month. Buyers, most sellers will not be surprised if you ask for reasonable help with your closing costs. The number of sellers who needed to reduce the price of their home finally fell. This number had been increasing since last April and got as high as 55% of sellers last month. This month, it fell to 38%, and I'll keep an eye on this as we approach the summer months. Still, price reductions have been common, so if you've needed to reduce the price of your home, you're not alone. The median price reduction for homes that needed them was about 4.2%, so a typical total price reduction would be about $22,500 in our market. Now, let's take a look at how hot the market is by looking at several of my favorite stats. These are straight from offers that buyers made in February. First, multiple offers. This month, about 1 in 4 pending homes had multiple offers. This was about the same as the month prior and still fairly high. Next, we had 19% of buyers waiving inspections, about half of what it was last month. This means buyers didn't feel the need to compete as aggressively with other buyers, or they weren't as confident in the condition of the home. And as always, I recommend not waiving inspections. Choose a pass-fail inspection instead. Finally, only 4% of buyers use an escalation addendum, a tool that automatically increases your offer to beat other buyers. We'd gotten to 9% last month, so this number is more in line with the 5% I've been seeing since last July. Before I offer my advice for buyers and sellers, please take a second to like and subscribe and hit that bell so that you'll know when I release future videos. Who appreciates you? This guy. So is this a good time to buy or sell a home in the South Puget Sound? Here's my take. Buyers, we headed into 2026 with a fairly high number of active listings, which we're still seeing. This is great because you've got more choices. Sellers are still working with you on closing costs, and you're not facing extreme competition from other buyers. Only about 1 in 5 of you waived inspections this month, and the average home sold for a little under the list price. Bottom line, I think this is a good time for buyers to buy. Do take the time to check out my homebuyer videos, which walk you through the home buying process here in Washington. And if you want to grab coffee or bounce any questions off me, I'm here for you. Sellers, I'm happy for you that the number of you needing to drop your home's price fell sharply. And I definitely think your patience over the last few months is about to be rewarded. The stats I see this month are more balanced. Buyers are showing healthy competition for your home. Homes are selling a little more quickly and for just under the listing price. So make sure you're market ready, in a condition to wow buyers, and priced right. This is definitely not the environment to price too aggressively, nor is it the time to play games with underpricing, expecting that most buyers will get into fierce bidding wars for your place. If you're curious about what your potential net profit from the sale of your home would be and need a comparative market analysis, just let me know. Thanks for spending time with me today. Enjoy the rest of your month, and happy house hunting.